Hi, in this video I'm going to go over how to find free criminal background information in the state of Utah. So to get started, visit utahpublicrecords.com, and I'll have a link in the description. You can click on that or just type it into your browser. On the homepage you'll find quite a few public record databases available that you can utilize, but in this video we're going to focus specifically on how to locate criminal and arrest information, and the free databases you have, and what options you have available officially at the state level. So hover over other records and click on inmate search. And a criminal record is created typically when an arrest happens. So like a police department or a sheriff's department ends up arresting an individual. They end up charging him with a crime, taking him to a local jail. And that's when a record pretty much starts. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're guilty, but there's already documentation in place. So you can research some of this information. Sometimes they have databases online that you can utilize. And then at other times, you would need to make a special request. And so typically these arrest records will have some identification information, bond information, and then of course the charges. And so each county kind of does this slightly differently, the way you research, what information they display, things like that. But typically you are able to gain some information. Maybe you do have to jump through some hoops in some cases, but you can definitely, sometimes you'll see a mugshot, again, personal information, identifying information, and then of course the charges. After the arrest, an individual will either post bail, sometimes they'll get released, sometimes they will be kept in jail until they see a judge, but everybody has to go through a judge, and that's where a lot of the criminal information is captured. And so I'm going to go ahead and hover over other records and select court records. As you can see, Utah has multiple courts, anything from the Supreme Court to juvenile court. And since we're looking for criminal related information, we're going to be looking at district and justice. As you can see the types of court cases they process. So you got felony, which is like high-end crimes, high-level crimes, and then you have the low-level crimes here. And then same thing with the justice. They will do like low-level crimes and traffic, things like that. And a few other things, but I'm just focusing on criminal information. And so you have a database here, and unfortunately, this database is not free to use. It's from Utah State Courts. They have compiled pretty much all this information, and it looks like they are moving from $30 to $40 a month now. So this is probably good for people that do quite a bit of researching. And you will get looks like about 500 searches a month that you can do. Now you have, since I am talking about free options in this video, I have to mention that they have public record. They have these special databases, and these databases, they're called public terminals, public court record search terminals. And you're able to utilize these but you have to go on site. And so you have to actually come in and do it in person. And what happens is, like a court of clerk's office or a courthouse, you got to find out where you have the nearest one, and you typically still have to pay for those. I think like maybe $15 an hour. I'm not 100% sure, but you get the first 15 minutes free of charge, so you can quickly come in, do a search. As long as it doesn't take you too long, you don't have to pay any money for it. So I know it's it's not necessarily the best way to do it, but I gotta mention it. It is one way of doing it, and it's free, and that's what the video is about. So once a court case happens, you have a guilty or no guilty verdict, and if the individual is guilty, they'll either pay a fine or they'll have to do some time. If they have to serve more than 12 months, it's going to be in a prison. If it's less than 12 months, they're just going to keep them at the county level in the jail. So you do have some jail information here, but if they're typically serving more than 12 months, it would be for like a more serious type of a crime, and they will the prison facilities are managed by Utah Department of Corrections, and so they have their own database that you can come in and use. And again, it's a free database, and it's a statewide database, and it looks like they are making everything slightly harder. Okay, so but nonetheless, as you can see, you just pulled up some individuals here, and again, this is, I'm not going to go through this process just because I'm making this video, but if you are doing your research, you might have to jump through a few hoops. But it's a free database, it's statewide, and it shows you prison inmate information. One more database that you should check out is, of course, the sex offender registry. And this one will also be a statewide list. You can research this information. Typically, you can do, if you wanted to do like an address search, so see like maybe what's going on around a specific maybe location, or if you have a name, you can just research that individual. So those are the options you have in the state of Utah. One more thing I wanted to mention is the name search box on top, and what this is it's a private database. It's not free, but it might be of some use to you. And what it does is it pulls records, public records, court records, property records, criminal information, financial records. Also has access to private databases like cell phone numbers, previous addresses, things like that. So what's great about it is it doesn't just pull records in Utah, it pulls records from multiple states, kind of giving you like a nationwide look. And people do move around nowadays, so it's something to definitely keep in the back of your mind. Why is it great to use? Well, let's say somebody has some records maybe in the state of Oregon or maybe in Kentucky. Now they move to Utah. If you're just looking for records in the state of Utah, you're not necessarily going to catch what happened in Oregon or Kentucky. And it's a great tool. It works quick. It's pretty much an instantaneous search. Check it out. You'll quickly figure out if they have the information that you're looking for. And if you want to proceed. If not, just use what you have available to you locally. So, or use both. And so with that said, visit utahpublicrecords.com and get started on your free criminal background check in the state of Utah. Thank you.